just overall, when you think of sports in the Bay Area, what are you thinking right now?
Chase, happy to be back, happy to get going. But I mean, to the topic, to your question here, I just think it's a weird, era. It feels like we're at the end of a lot of things, or the potential end of a lot of things on, baseball, kind of a little different, but for the Warriors, right? It seems like a transition period is about to come. Like, this is the last breath for them. If they're going to do it, they got to do it now. They got Jimmy Butler. Warriors fans are begging for them to make some moves this offseason. Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to be? We'll know the end of it soon. It's 2 years. With the Niners, it's a lot different, man. Like, it feels like it could be a transition period depending on how this season goes. Like, fans want Shanahan out. Some fans want Lynch out.
Who wants Shanahan out? Nobody wants Shanahan out.
There's a segment. There's a
segment, but fuck that segment.
I'm not saying myself, but I'm saying, like, you don't know what's going to happen there. It feels like they're at the middle. The Niners or the Warriors are at the end. The Niners are in the middle of it, and the Giants are just at the beginning. You bring in Posey, second year of Bob Melvin. You see them making trades. It just feels like we're in this big, it's like life's a cycle, right? The Warriors are leading it. It seems like they're about to come right back once Steph retires, and we're going to see it, keep going around in circles.
We're going to get to this a little bit later, Sage, because this was something that I was thinking. I did a lot of research before this one, so I'm going to agree with you. But what I'm going to say is that I don't think that this is going to be the end for any of these teams in the Bay, because we're just in the Bay Area is humming. I mean, if you just look at all the teams, how they're doing financially, we're always going to be big players in the market. But Sage, I agree with you, because I think that it's all in mode now for all three of these teams. Like, we're all in. If you look at the Giants, yes, also, I think this is the first time that we're talking Giants. So
ever
little history time for the pod right now. This is the first time we're talking baseball, but you got Buster Posey coming in. He comes in, I think, Sage, what? I think they have the 28th ranked farm system. They got no young guys coming up. You have no talent in the major league squad, so you sign Adames. You get that trade for Devers a couple weeks ago, and now you look at it, they got about 3 major contracts that are going to last around 8 to 10 years. They're going to be 35 when these contracts are done. So they're going all in with these 3 guys. We know what's happened with the Warriors. You got 2 to 3 years left of Steph Curry. You made that trade for Jimmy Butler. You're trying to do whatever it is you can to get Steph Curry that championship. Who knows? Maybe next year it's getting Giannis Antetokounmpo, but right now it's just rolling with that trio of Jimmy, Dre, and Steph. And then you got the 49ers, who we've talked about it probably too many times, but you probably got 1 to 2 years left of this window. So, Sage, I don't know. I feel like it's all in mode for these teams. And when I just look at the entire landscape, that's what I'm seeing. These teams are successful. They're going to be competing for championships, but it's all in right now. And you got to love it if you're a sports fan.
I agree. I think I don't know if it's all in yet for the Niners. I think the Niners are in a weird period where you saw what happened with the free agency. Yes, they hit on the draft. We got to see these guys, kind of play out, but are they really all in? It seems like they just let a bunch of guys go. They made the Bryce Huff trade. They haven't really made any other big free agency moves. I think they're kind of in a setback. The Warriors couldn't agree more. I mean, you see it. Steph's 37. Steph's going to be 38 years old this year. He's not LeBron. He can't just, rely on his body, rely on his size. He needs to get open. He needs to be quick. He needs to be able to get open off the ball. You saw what happened. Body wore down. First soft tissue injury in his career. You got to get him help. You got to get guys who could take the load off. They're all in, right? You see they have their name in the Jaylen Brown hat, right? Fans wanted us to get.
I don't know if they're going to go for Jaylen Brown. I think that'd be a crazy swing.
I actually don't think there's a chance.
But Sage, really quickly, because I wanted to jump in on your 49ers point. They're not all in, right? They basically this year, they kind of opened it up to a point where you get some young guys in there. You're clearing up some space for later on, but there's a lot of superstar players on this team that are aging and they're injury prone. I mean, look at George Kittle. Look at guys like Trent Williams. You could go across the roster. Christian McCaffrey was hurt all last year. I still think that he's got a couple of years left of his prime, but you really don't know. So with the Niners, I get it that this may not be the all-in situation. You just signed Brock Purdy, right? I mean, this is the first time we've had a franchise quarterback in over 15 years, but you don't know what the core of this team's going to look like after the next couple of years. And is John Lynch going to be around in 2 years? If Kyle Shanahan flops out of the playoffs this year, and then the next year's a down year, do we even know if Kyle Shanahan's a coach? So I kind of feel like they're still in that Super Bowl or bust mode, and that it's going in right now. I just wanted to jump in for the Niners take because that's going to be the most complex one, right? I feel like The Warriors, we know what's going on, but the Niners is tough.
See, it's interesting because I do agree with your point there. Like, it is Super Bowl or bust. If the Niners make a Super Bowl and lose, it's going to be more bitter than it is sweet, right? You're not the Lions. It's not going to be a happy to be there story. I 100% agree with that because of how close you've been. But with the expectations on the roster, like everything, like all things considered, is you have a lot of faith in young guys. You got to see it first. You got to see the D-line actually, come to fruition. See, like, your vision from the
No
draft
doubt.
come out. Like, can you stop the run? Last year, you were getting run on down the throat. You couldn't stop it when you played the Vikings, when you played the Rams. Like,
It was like the town bike for the NFL. Everybody took a ride on that run.
Yeah, it was literally
bad.
It was a free pass to the end zone for these running backs. I mean, that, like I said last year, right? Like, when you see the Niners on your schedule and you're a running back, like, that's when you buy out like the stadium. You tell your family to come. You tell your girlfriend to come. Like, I'm in town.
You reserve the
like,
steak dinner for after the game. It's like, we're gonna have a good night today. We're facing the 49ers.
It's like, did you see the video of the Thunder where their championship buses like leaked before the finals? Like, it's something like that, right? Where you just know, like, did you not see that?
I did, but I'm saying, has anybody had a worse like 24 or 48 hours of a championship than OKC?
Jason Tatum
yeah,
last year was pretty bad.
But Tyrese Halliburton goes down. Everybody says, okay, it's really, the story is Indiana and how much they got jobbed. You have that video come out, right, where, they get leaked. And then, Sage, the parade looked like shit. I mean, I don't know. Just tough 24 hours for me with OKC. But I know that's all.
Did you expect the parade in Oklahoma City to be lit? Like,
I don't even know how many people they got. Like, how many people could they realistically roll out?
I don't know, like a million? I don't even know if they hit a million. I'm not sure.
Talk about a team that's all in. Okay, yeah. I mean, true.
No, they're building. I mean, going back to the Niners, though, right? Like, it's hard to say that they're all in. Like, I think that this is just a transition year where you get guys in new spots. Like, I don't know if I can trust that secondary yet. I don't know how much I trust the D-line. I like the picks. Like, I'll keep saying it. I love the picks that they made. I like what they did. I like the vision of the roster, but they might suck. They might be bust. Like, you might have drafted the right position, but the wrong guys. Like, Alfred Collins, the guy still can't get on the field.
You never know.
Like,
you never know until they put on the pads.
Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna judge these guys like based on what they look like in shorts and a helmet, right? Like the Christian McCaffrey guys who deep dive his running videos. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'll see it in pads. I'll see it when they're actually up against NFL talent.
That's true. Something though, Sage. Jed York, he's already kind of starting to bring it in. I feel like for the past couple of years, he was going to John Lynch, he was going to Kyle Shanahan. He was saying, guys, whatever you need. You need cash. You need to fill up that payroll all the way to the brim. Do we need to maneuver some contracts for later on? We can make it happen. I feel like that's stopping right now. So you see them buying up teams in Europe. They're buying what? Rangers FC. I think they're looking at a Swedish soccer team. They're trying to grow the business. A little bit less of that money's coming to the Niners. So they got to hit. They got to hit on these draft picks or the window's going to close soon. Soon, I think.
I mean, 100%. You saw it last year, right? Like,
it's risk. There's risk all across the board.
Once that defense, like,
even Posey, like, we love the Devers move, right? Like, everybody that's bringing a lot of energy into the team, but you're paying $300 million to a dude who is a bad defender, basically got kicked out, was a clubhouse nightmare, and is only a DH right now. So that's a little bit risky for me too, even though it did bring some juice back to the Giants because they were lacking it for the past, I would say, about 5 years. Nobody was talking about the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, other than Jung-Hoo Lee, there was no excitement in this organization. I mean,
South Korea loves the Giants right now, but
yeah,
I don't think the Bay Area did for a while.
It seemed like just the Farhan Kapler just like era is going to be looked at as just like the grossest era of Giants baseball of my lifetime, right? Like, you have a coach who cares more about his burger and coffee videos than he does about like actually assembling a good lineup. You have Farhan, who's doing this like advanced nerd analytics, refuses to sign big name free agents. You got guys like, what was it? Like Darren Ruff, Lamont Wade, Alex Dickerson, like playing the small ball bullshit, making 1,000, maneuvers in game to try and play the analytics when it's just like, you know what? I'd actually rather just sign Shohei Ohtani. I'd rather just go after a guy like, who knows, Aaron Judge, who we actually did try to get, but just sign the free agents. I mean, there's no payroll, right? Or there's no cap in baseball. Get the free agents, pay the guys. Look what the Dodgers are doing. Fucking $200 to get into a Dodgers game now, right? Because they built a brand.
That's what I mean, Sage.
They built a product that people want to go see because there's no cap. I'm thinking the Giants, you get Adames, you get Devers. you're starting to make these moves, right? You're trying to fill up the stadium, even though it's the only way it seems like you could ever get fans in the stadium early or fill out a stadium is when you give out Hello Kitty jerseys. You give out the Jung-Hoo Lee jerseys. I mean, dude, the Giants games, the attendance has been disgusting. And it seems like that's kind of like their whole like central point of the Giants is it's baseball meets like art, right? With that stadium, just getting fans, people who aren't even fans into the stadium, right? Like that's kind of like the claim for the Giants.
Well, I mean, what I loved about those teams in the early 2010s was not only the fact that they were winning World Series. I mean, obviously that was the cake and everything, but Bruce Bochy, love Bruce Bochy, but all the players, they were homegrown. It felt like you were connected to these guys. Even guys like Hunter Pence, they come into the Bay Area. They're immediately scootering all around town. He's getting the kale shakes. Like, he became a San Francisco guy. It was all people that we loved, and we felt like they loved us back. And with Farhan, you didn't get that at all. You didn't get that at all. He was just basically going into his typewriter or into his calculator, trying to see what the best value deals were. And it's like, okay, let me get these three guys. Let me get them into a platoon. And it worked in that 2021 year. You get that NL West title. You lose to the Dodgers in the NLDS. And like you brought up, Sage, that's all great, okay? If the calculations work, you maybe get a couple good years, but nobody's connected to the team. And what happened? The big name players, the stars, that's what won you championships. That's what we had in the early 2010s. And it just felt like the soul was ripped out of the Giants for a while. And that's why they were like the black sheep. That's why the attendance went down. So I feel like a lot of people saw that, and it's coming on the way back up, though. Don't you think? A little bit.
I mean, it just, there was no characters you could get behind, right? Like, you had so much personality on that 20. Like, think about like the rally thong, right? Like the panda hats. You have like Brian Wilson.
Each year was different too. Like
it was the beer. You had Sergio Romo. Like, you had all these guys.
Like Timmy Lincecum.
Exactly.
Like, he was like our guy.
Posey leading the entire thing. Like, you had these guys who people wanted to get behind. People actually like were going to see. You kind of have it now. Like I said, you're building it back up. Last 2 years, you had some great roster moves. You got personalities. You got guys who people are going to want to go see, right? Whether it's Ramos, who's homegrown, you go out and get a Jung-Hoo, Adames, a guy like Devers, like you said, injected some energy into the crowd. You saw it when he got introduced. Like, people were excited for it. The series against the Red Sox, he was getting applauded every time he went up to bat. You didn't see that for the Giants for a while. I mean, there was games against the Dodgers where there was more Dodgers fans than Giants fans. The crowd was empty.
Bad.
It was disgusting for like having such a nice stadium, being actually in the city, unlike another team we're going to talk about later. But for you to get like your own stadium sold out by a different team, like, it was embarrassing for a while.
It was embarrassing. And Sage, did you have any plans on talking Giants 3 weeks ago? No,
Never.
We didn't. And this is the thing, that Devers trade, it was a risk that you had to take. And you just got to commend Buster Posey. I know that we're going on the Giants for a little bit here, but this is the topic. I mean, if we're talking about the state of Bay Area sports, I think that everything is revolved around the Giants right now. And it seems like you got that fan energy coming back towards the Giants, because this is something we're going to talk about a little bit later. But I feel like at each team at their best, I think the Giants is the Bay Area's team. I think it's San Francisco's team for sure. And I see some of that coming back right now. Is it going to result in a playoff appearance? Probably. Are you going to beat the Dodgers, make it to the World Series, win a pennant? Who knows? Probably not. But just the fact that you're taking swings, the Giants are spending their money, because we know they've been making money the past 15 years. Probably more than any other baseball team in the MLB, minus the Dodgers and the Yankees. So I just like that there's an energy back with this Giants team. I feel it. I mean, we're talking about it. I think that this is going to continue for the next 3 months. So I'm feeling good about Giants land right now. I really am. Buster Posey, cool throwing right now.
It's weird because the Giants are the most nostalgic, right? Like when we were growing up, like they were the only team that, I mean, not only, but they were the first team to like show us what success was, what a championship was, right? And you see it like in the city, like even when the Warriors were in Oakland, they were still loved here, but it wasn't as strong as when the Giants were winning in 2010, 2012, 2014. Like you could see it like in 2022 when the Warriors won that championship, the parade, just like the amount of people, like how hype it was. It felt like those Giants parades, like back in the day, maybe it was because it was the first time the city had won in so long, but it just felt so much more hyped. Like there was so much more going on. You could walk around the whole entire thing. The way it was like showcased with the floats, it just felt like more of an event than what the Warriors had. Maybe I'm just like reminiscing because I was a lot younger than
I was
the
about to say.
2022.
I think
What?
it's because for the 2022 parade, we were maybe about 10 drinks deep, and for the Giants parades, we were just rolling around with our panda hats on, and we were just having fun. So different events altogether, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird when you look at the Giants because this feels like something new that's coming up, and with the Warriors, it feels like the complete opposite. Like this is the end, and
Like Brandon Pajemski.
He's been, hey, how about Brandon Pajemski at the Valkyries games a little bit?
Dude, that guy annoys the
Is it
hell
too
out of me.
much? Is
Dude,
it
I
too
can't
much
get
or do
behind
you
him,
love
bro.
it?
No, I can't get behind him, bro. I kind of want him off the team. I just can't
How can
do
he
it.
say that? How can he say
Bro,
that
he's
over
cringe,
just being
dude. He's
at the
so
Valkyries
cringe.
game going crazy?
Like they call him pods. I just can't get behind a guy like that. Like going from Curry, it can't be like the transition from Curry to pods. It just can't. He tries too hard. He tries to be nonchalant. I don't like the way he plays. He didn't show up in the playoffs this year. After all the tweets he had in the offseason about how he's going to make Team USA, they had like the top 10 players under 25. It was like SGA, Luka, and he wasn't on it. Obviously, he quote tweets it with like the writing emoji. Just
yeah.
let it come to you, bro. Like you're not that guy. Like you could maybe be the fourth best player on a championship. You can't be the third, second, or first.
No, and I think that's where everybody's at right now. That you're going for that last title with Steph. I think that the untouchables are Draymond and Steph. I think those are the only people that we're looking at. We can't get rid of those guys. Everybody else is expendable.
Is Draymond really you can't get rid of?
Yeah, you can't get rid of Draymond. Draymond's the heart
Because
and
of like
soul.
sentimental value? Like why?
No, because he's the heart and soul of the team and Sage. You know that Steph Curry's not the same player when Draymond Green's not on the court. He helps him get open. He's the man on defense. I mean, he was literally the entire catalyst of our defense last year, which was our biggest strength. So to shell out Draymond to get, I don't know, a fucking, not a guy like Giannis, but maybe somebody a couple levels below, that's just not worth it, Sage. He's an untouchable, but that's like the one topic right now with the Warriors. It's can Steph, Draymond, Jimmy stay healthy, and who the hell are we going to get with them? And I honestly don't know. I don't know if they're going to make a big move or not, Sage, but with the Warriors, I feel like it's a less interesting conversation right now. I don't know. Like, we just got out of it a month ago. Maybe that's part of it, but
Ooh, I kind of disagree. I just think that there's something lurking out there. I mean, all the big names that you initially wanted, it seems like are gone, but I think they have to do something. They're going to get bigger. Steve Kerr said it, right? In his latest interview, he said Draymond Green will not be our center in 2025, 2026, right?
You can't roll that out again. It'll just be
if it ends up just being Clint Capella, I'm gonna be blue balled a bit. Like that's gonna suck.
Is he still around? Is Clint Capella actually still playing and like a legit player in the NBA?
He was on the Hawks, but they just got Porzingis, so I think he's a free agent. I think he is just gonna sign somewhere. I feel like he's gonna be the guy to go to the Lakers. I don't want to talk about the Lakers. I don't want to get into that, but they have a move to make. There's so much going on in the NBA. That's what I love about the NBA. There's so many moving parts. You got the draft going on right now. You got all these trades happening this offseason. You have trades going on in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, right? There's always something. Yeah. I mean, going into last year, I would have never imagined that Jimmy Butler would be on my team, and he'd be a guy I'd be rooting for come March and April. But here we are. So there's always things happening. You never know what's going to happen with Giannis. Like, can you get a guy like Giannis? Probably not. But is it out there? Is there just like a center who's unhappy, a young guy that you can maybe take a chance on, like a Halliburton? Like the team doesn't know what they have. Like who knows? Like, is there something out there? I feel like Dunleavy's done a good job in assembling this roster, always looking to improve it. That's something I feel like Bob Myers struggled in, right? Like we want to talk about like the Warriors' ascension is I feel like Bob Myers never really improved around the cracks, right? Like he wasn't good at improving the role players. Like after the 2022 championship, like what did they do? I feel like Dunleavy's always looking to improve like all around.
Sadra, this is where you kill me because I think that Bob Myers took a team that was never shit. He got them to 73 wins. Well, first off, he won a championship with them. Got them to a team where they broke the all-time regular season record for 73 wins. You get KD. I mean, who needs to make changes around the edges when you get Kevin Durant and add him to a 73-win team? And then he comes back 3 years later and wins a championship. What are you going to do after that championship? I don't know, Sage. You just won the fucking championship. Why would you change anything? I mean,
it's just sad.
You're a little bit unfair on Bob Myers.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
I think
the
he's
legacy
a terrible
talk with
drafter.
you and Bob Myers is a little like, I don't know. It's almost like there's something personal there with you
I
and
just
Bob
don't
Myers.
like
It's
the way
crazy.
he drafted. Like, what was his like great draft pick? Jordan Poole, maybe Klay Thompson, I guess, but he wanted to trade Klay.
That was a pretty good one. I'd say Klay Thompson was a pretty good one. Second best shooter of all time at like 11th overall.
The guy who he wanted to trade if it wasn't for Jerry West.
Not confirmed. Hey, Sage, we
pretty
don't
much
got
confirmed.
confirmation on that.
Pretty
we
much
got
confirmed.
Confirmation on that.
Our friend of the show, Bill Simmons, said that they were looking to trade Steph to Milwaukee, but it ended up being Monta Ellis. Like, there's just things out there that I don't necessarily trust, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And I just think that this guy's kind of just getting credit that he inherited Steph Curry. He inherited Steve Kerr. Like, he didn't make the draft pick to get Steph Curry. He didn't hire Steve Kerr. That was just a situation. You have maybe a top 10
What do you mean
coach.
he didn't hire Steve Kerr?
What do you mean?
What do you mean he didn't hire Steve Kerr?
Do you think he hired
What does that
Steve
mean?
Kerr?
He hired Steve Kerr.
No, he didn't. That was a Lake Up move, bro.
Okay, but you gotta consider it this way. And also, we're gonna get to Glazing Lake Up later in the show because I feel like it's deserved. I think he's the unsung hero of the entire Bay Area sports scene. But when you put a faith in a guy like Bob Myers, if you're Joe Lakeup, and then you get a coach like Steve Kerr, you got to give Bob Myers credit as well. He's running the ship. If the ship is going into steady waters, you got to give him credit. You can't be like, oh, it was actually the dock captain who told us to take that path right. That's why we're looking solid right now. You got to give him credit.
You would be a terrible boss. You would be a terrible boss. You just like to give credit. You'd like to give credit to the top. You just like, oh, it's everything always falls on the GM, never the scouts. When I talk about Brock Purdy getting drafted by a scout, it's never the scouts. It's always the GM who put them in position, who gave them faith. There's other pieces that go into it.
Is this a guy who was taking shots at blue-collar workers a couple weeks ago?
That was
White-collar Sage? Is this white-collar Sage? Tell me that. But what I will say, Sage, as much as we're talking about Bob Myers right now, I think that after that Jimmy Butler move and what happened after you got Jimmy Butler in there, a lot of people do trust in Dunleavy. And I think there is a lot of excitement for this Warriors team because they have faith that even though you only got maybe a couple of years left of Steph, Draymond, Steve Kerr, Jimmy Butler, that they can maybe make something happen to get them back into the mix. And I think that excitement is there with the Giants as well. But don't you just feel like with the Niners, you're coming off of about 2 years, maybe a year and a half after you make the Super Bowl the last time. You have a down year last year, but you keep a lot of that core, minus a couple pieces on the D-line. You draft a couple guys who are expected to be pretty good. It just doesn't feel like there's a lot of excitement with this team, and they're almost like the black sheep of the Bay Area sports scene right now, even though they probably have the best chance out of anybody to win a championship. And they're the NFL team they're the NFL team of the region, so they're going to be the most popular just by numbers wise, but it just feels like there's like a bad vibe around people with the 49ers. Don't you think? I feel like I'm picking up on that.
No, it's just like the Niners are just so different because you love them so much, but when they let you down, you just hate them. And they've just let you down for the past 15 years. That it's like, how can you trust them? What makes you think this team is better than the team in 2023, right? So when that team fails, when it feels like you have probably the best Niners team since what? Like 96, 95, whenever's the last time you won it?
94, but 94. Definitely the best team since 94.
23, like you have that roster. I mean, I'm a homer. I'm going to say it, but it felt like you were 10 times the team that the Chiefs were. It felt like you had them at everywhere except the quarterback, and your quarterback still played an B above average game. I would say
he played good enough to win, Sage. He did.
Walks off the field with a lead, and you just let them go down 80 or 75 yards, score no problem. Every 49ers fan knew the entire time that they were going to score, they were going to get in the end zone. It just felt like the slowest death ever. So when you take your fan base through like the absolute ringer, and then this is the year where you're kind of just like, oh, it's time for the Niners to prove it again. It's like, how far can they really go? We said it. It's Super Bowl or bust with the fan base, right? No one's going to be happy with another NFC Championship appearance. No one's going to be happy with another Super Bowl loss.
No.
Can you win it? It doesn't feel like they can win it, but it feels like they can make some noise, which is kind of just a step back from where they were 2 years ago. So it's like, I feel like they're just waiting to see it, right? Like we talked about the schedule. You could dive into the schedule all you want. There's going to be hype with this team as the season goes along because they're going to start like piling up W's. They're going to make teams who do they open up with? Sam Darnold week 1, right? Then
I think it's Seahawks, and then you have like
Saints.
3 easy games. You got at the Saints week 2.
You get Tyler Shaw in his second game. Like, you're going to start making these bad teams look bad. You're going to make yourself look better. You're going to hang 30 on them, hold them to 10, and then the hype's going to build. The national media is going to come in. Oh, week 6, they're the 1 seed. Like, look at who they have left. Like, is 12-4 on? And then it's like, oh, wow, the Niners have won 13 games. That's when the hype goes. I just think in the summer, right, with so much going on after such a disappointing year, right, you won 6 games when you were supposed to be the NFC favorite.
Nightmare season. It was a nightmare season.
They were the Super Bowl favorite last year going into the
everything
season.
That could have went wrong. It was a straight up nightmare.
Yeah, it's hard to gain that trust back. It's hard to gain like the hype back once it's gone. It feels like they're in, like I said, they're in like kind of like taking a step back. Like, let's see what we got with the rookies. They didn't have a fire sale, but they had like an open door policy. Like, if you want out, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like, Hufanga walks, Greenlaw walks. You let 2 starters from your O-line walk. You let all these guys around the edges, Travarius Ward, right? Your safety position, your secondary looks a little thin. Your D-line's, young. We just got to see it first, right? Like, you got to build it back up, build up that trust, because time after time, this team just destroys you. There's been nothing more detrimental to my health than the 49ers. It's second to none.
So I think it's a combination of 2 things. I think the biggest point is what you brought up, that the 49ers have kicked us in the balls like 8 times. Really fucking good. Really fucking good. I mean, you had about 3 losses in that Harbaugh era, which it was just like, as the years went on, it almost got worse with how they exited the playoffs. You had those 2 Super Bowl losses to Mahomes where you're up late, then he finds a way to come back and get you. And we know the rest, right? I mean, Jaquaski Tart, Brock Purdy in Philadelphia, first drive. That's part of it. The fact that the 49ers have let us down in every big situation, but
Chase, who was the guy with the orange afro that kicked in the nuts guy? He's just going around kicking people in the nuts. Do you know about this?
Orange afro? No. Who the fuck is this?
He had like
is this a Bay Area guy? Or are we talking national?
No, it's literally just like I don't know if it was like a YouTuber or a show. They spoofed it on Family Guy. It's like this guy would go around, he had like an orange afro and just kick random people in the nuts.
Was it like Gallagher or something? Or is it just like, is this like a random YouTube thing?
I think Gallagher sounds, I don't know. I that sounds like familiar.
Chad, help us out. Help us out.
I think it was called like you've been kicked in the nuts. So like that's what I think of when I think of the Niners. When you said that, I was like, that's literally exactly time after time. It's like you get you up here, boom, right in the dick.
That's part of it, Sage. That's part of it. That's probably the biggest part of it. But I also think, and we're coming from a different perspective. We're coming from the peninsula. We're coming from the city crowd. Don't you feel like it's harder for the majority of people to get their arms around this team because they're all the way in Santa Clara? Warriors right now, they're in San Francisco. The Giants, like I said, I think they're at their peak. They're the most popular team in the Bay. Don't you feel like it's a little bit different with the Niners, that even when you had that 2023 year where they were looking like the best team in football, they were basically on a march the entire season to the Super Bowl? It just felt like the energy wasn't there, especially with the fact that this is the NFL team. Football runs America. You feel like you should notice that there's a difference between a 49ers playoff run and even with Steph Curry, a Warriors playoff run. I feel like that's part of it, Sage. It doesn't feel like they're the city's team.
I 100% agree. I mean, you have a team that's 50 miles or 50 minutes south of the city. It's like a trek just to get there. You have to take 2 trains just to get to the city if you want to take public transportation.
I won't do it. Sage, I won't fucking do it.
It's a nightmare. No, and getting out of that parking lot, you share a parking lot with Great America, or is it Six Flags, Great America, whatever the fuck it is?
No, it's Great America. But
go
on.
But on top of it, right? Like, and it's not even like a mecca. Like, it's not even like one of the nicer stadiums out there, right? Like, you look at all these new stadiums. You look at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. You look at SoFi. You look at
Chase Center.
The Chase Center, right? Like Chase Center. Like, we can glaze Lake up throughout the show. Like, you privately fund that thing, right? It's an absolute entertainment hub now. You can have concerts. You have a WNBA team you bring in small businesses. You have Thrive City to bring the fans closer to the stadium. You have celebrations outside, right? Like, you have
second most valuable team in all of sports. And that's all because of the moneymaker that the Chase Center is.
100%. Like, and you own the stadium. Like I said, like, you have no backlash from like paying taxpayers money. privately fund it from organization. You clean up the Mission Bay district. You gentrify the entire area. You got restaurants like Miller and Lux.
Are we pro gentrification right now?
I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Like you saw,
Hey,
you know what Mission Bay was.
If it helps me get championships, I guess I'm pro.
Chase, you weren't walking your dog around Mission. Chase, you weren't walking your dog around Mission Bay before the Warriors got there. Maybe the Giants helped clean it up, but now it's you have ice cream shops, like you have small businesses, you have rooftop bars around. Like they cleaned up the entire area. You get a hub there. You're like what, a 15-minute walk from the Giants stadium. When we went for the Rockets game, you see it on our TikTok. Follow us, Westbound and Down. Like, subscribe, follow us here. But you saw it, right? Like you had the fans walking down from the Giants game. We had a bunch of Giants fans coming to that Rockets game, right? Like you create a community. That's the whole idea of it, right? You create like the Celtics have it with the TD Garden, right? Like it's not just the stadium, it's a concourse. You have all these businesses. You bring in Splash, right? You just create like everything. Like what the hell is Levi's? It's literally just a random football stadium in the middle of nothing. Like in the middle of just like there's no other businesses. There's no bars around that I could remember. There's the tailgate scene, but it's impossible to tailgate there. I don't
think they even allow tailgates. Do they even allow you to tailgate before 10 a.m.?
It's like, I don't know about the timing, but it's just about the like the lot, right? Like you have to get like a lot pass. I don't know. If Michael Cassie's here, maybe you could speak up, but